Thank you guys for joining us today. Glad to have you, and would love to know, what are you trying to accomplish with partner marketing? What's not working with partner marketing? What are your questions? We've got some great guests here today. We also have an agenda, and we'll drop that a couple of times as we're getting everything kicked off for everybody this morning. You can follow along on the agenda. We do have some slides we'll share with you a little bit farther on in our conversation today. And so if you are new to our growth show, like this is your very first B2B growth show, we're super excited that you're here. A couple of promises. Number one, we're not going to waste your time. We always try to bring really good folks in that can answer questions for you, help you kind of see what's around the corner as it relates to the topics. The other promise that we have for you is that we're going to end at the top of the hour. Whatever time zone you're in, we're going to be done at the top of the hour. So we're in the central time zone. That's going to be 1 o'clock for us. But I'd love to know, even in chat, are you a newbie? Is this your very first B2B growth show? Or are you a veteran? Have you been to multiples, maybe 3 or more? We'd love to know that. And so glad to see you guys. I see Ray from Prescott Valley. I think I said that right, Ray. Michelle, good to have you. Casey, glad to have you guys. James, glad to have you. We've got probably a pretty good group today. I think there was over 250 folks that are registered for this session today. And you know what's crazy, Lauren, is we haven't done in 2.5 years, with all the topics that we've covered, we've never done a show on channel marketing, partner marketing. Can you believe that?
No, I think we've covered quite a lot, but it's about time we talk about partner marketing. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, partner marketing is like super hot, and I don't think everybody knows how to do partner marketing the right way. It's certainly some of my experiences in working with some of our partners, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and jump on in, because I do know we have a lot of information to cover today. As I mentioned, we're going to be focusing on partner marketing. How do we get the most out of our partners? How do we support them and serve them well? And so we've got a couple of great guests on deck for us today. The first person I want to introduce you to is Trevor Burnett. Trevor is the VP of Marketing of Impartner, and Impartner is a partner management, partner marketing platform. I hope I said that right. Trevor, you want to say hi to everybody?
Yeah, you did great. Thanks, Paul. Very happy to be here. Yeah, I was just telling Paul, I'm about to celebrate my 10th year at Impartner here next month. I think I get a shiny trophy or something on my desk.
That's awesome.
I don't know what the reward is, but yeah, it's been a good ride, and happy to be here to talk channel marketing.
Awesome. And one of the things I'm really excited about is Trevor invited Stephanie Zembal, who runs channel marketing for a very big company, Palo Alto Networks. If anybody that's in technology has heard that name before, and she's going to talk to us today about channel marketing and how she runs that for Palo Alto Networks. And the thing that blew me away when Trevor was saying, like, hey, let's get Stephanie on the session today, is their partner network is like 20,000 and growing. And so if anybody knows how to deal with partner marketing, it's probably Stephanie. So Stephanie, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Paul. I am super excited to be here and to chat with all of you today. Palo Alto Networks, and I've only been here coming up on 4 years. So a little bit of a newbie at this company, but I've been in channel marketing, partner marketing for most of my career. So excited for this topic.
Yeah, and we're glad to have you here, Stephanie. This is, like I said, we haven't had this topic or covered this topic before. And so it's really something that I think we all want to talk about, because I don't know about you, but on my social media feeds and LinkedIn, I'm hearing about how partner marketing and channel marketing is like hot. But my experience, because we are we have partners, like we are a partner to some of the biggest names in B2B tech, like Google and HubSpot. But we're also a partner, like we have partners that work with us. And partner marketing's hot, but I'm telling you, most of my experience, especially with the big partners, is that it's ice cold. Like that, my experience with them is not so hot, right? And I don't know about you guys that are on the show today, but it seems like when I work with big partners, or when we've worked with big partners, it feels like they back up a dump truck of information and dump it on our laps and just go, hey, welcome to our partner program. Here's an infinite, Empire State Building size load of information. You go figure out how to learn our systems, see our marketing programs. Good luck with that. So they put the burden of partner marketing really on the shoulders of their partners. And that hasn't been a great experience. But at the same time, we've got some partners that we work really well with. In fact, I was just doing an interview with Navu, one of our partners, last week. And we were just talking about what made our partner program so great. And it really came to the fact that we are working hard together to help each other get exposed to our audiences, to help each other get exposed to our customers, and to really just help each other grow our businesses. It feels very symbiotic. And so when I think about partner marketing, in my opinion, it really just kind of reminds me of, buyer enablement. If we want to be the partner if we want to be the vendor rather of our partner, when they go and look in their bag of tricks and they're talking to a customer about, what vendor should they pull out and talk about, we need to make it easy for them to think about us. And so, Stephanie, I know you've got some great stuff to share with that. Before I get too far into it, though, I do want to talk about, if you're looking at the agenda, kind of got ahead of myself. I'm so excited about today's topic, but I want to make sure you guys are noticing who's going to be our guest next month. We've got a very special guest next month, and that's Rand Fishkin, who is truly one of the godfathers of B2B marketing and digital marketing. He was the founder of SEO Moz, and really a super humble guy. I mean, Rand, if you follow him at all, he's got a huge following. He gets invited to speak at the biggest conferences. And I was just really fascinated about his perspective on the clickless future. And so I reached out to Rand personally a couple of months ago and just asked him if he would be willing to come on our show. Now, if you don't know Rand, I mean, he gets in front of, stages with thousands and thousands of people. And so I didn't really expect that he would say yes, because at the B2B Growth Show, we have, 200 or 300 folks a month that register for these, maybe 350 on good months. And didn't think he would say, yeah, this is something that he would be willing to do. But lo and behold, he reached out and he said, yes, this is an important topic and he would love to come talk to us. So next month, we're going to have a fireside chat with Rand Fishkin, where we're going to be focusing on the clickless future and how to future-proof our go-to-market as it relates to that. And it's going to be a real wake-up call for those of you that are still relying on clicks, because clicks are dying. And I know for the last 25 years, we've been focused on, as marketers, getting more clicks to our business. And if those are dying, that's a dangerous place to be. And so Rand's going to come in and talk to us about that next month. You can click in the agenda to register for that. One other thing I just wanted to note about that is we're going to start at 1 o'clock Central Time instead of 12 o'clock Central Time, just to accommodate Rand's busy schedule. So super excited about that. But just as excited, Trevor and Stephanie, to talk about partner marketing and channel marketing. And so we've got several topics we're going to tee up and just have a kind of also a fireside chat, for lack of a better term, and just talk about some of the things that are going on in the world of partner marketing. And so let's go ahead and just jump right into that. And the first thing that I wanted to bring up here, and if you're looking on the agenda, you can follow along with me, but really, what is it about partner marketing that is an advantage to B2B brands? Why is this so hot? And Trevor, I'm going to pass it to you first. What's your perspective? Why is this such a hot topic?
Yeah. I don't know if fireside is the right term, since we're all dying of heat right now in the summer, but yeah,
air conditioning side chat, I guess, right?
There you go. Yeah, next to the AC chat, we'll call it that. But yeah, traditionally the customer buying journey was very linear. But that's a thing of the past, and customers interact with brands across numerous different touch points, both online and offline. And so there's websites, there's social media, email, apps, physical stores, all these different ways that are part of the partner journey. And our friend, the analyst that's very famous in our space, I guess, Jay McBain, he's said in an article, I think it was either earlier this year or last year, but he said there's 28 moments or touch points that are involved on average during the pre-sales journey. So that means it's absolutely essential for businesses to have a presence across all these different touch points. You don't want to just sit back and wait for those to happen. You want to be involved and be able to influence that journey a little better. So I'd say that's why channel marketing, which is widening your reach as the vendor, is really essential. So you can use and leverage that partner ecosystem of yours in ways that companies just can't do on their own, right? You have that unique advantage of all these embedded folks through your partners to be that more local or personalized presence. So you got to leverage them.
Yeah, it's a multiplication deal, right? I mean, if I'm a company and I've got a product and I've got a sales force, there's only so many people I can reach. But if I've got a channel and, like in Stephanie's case, 20,000, that's a lot more feet on the street. Just the law of big numbers kind of makes that work. Stephanie, anything you want to share on that?
Yeah, definitely. And, as you mentioned, Palo Alto Networks partner ecosystem includes probably quite a bit more than 20,000 resellers, disties, system integrators, technology partners, CSP, and the like. Our channel is clearly a huge focus. We consider our partners an extension of our own brand, and as a result of our own sales and services teams. So we rely on them to help us grow, scale, and really deliver our technologies to market. When we have taken a look at the deals that we're actually closing, 92% of our sales are conducted via a two-tier channel model. So obviously enabling, it's huge. It's a huge, amount. And like you said, like Trevor mentioned, those 28 touch points, we have a lot of partners involved in all of those deals. So enabling them to market and to sell is clearly critical to our success. And our co-marketing programs drive significant partner engagement and pipeline growth by helping to extend that visibility and reach to the customers.
Awesome. So the net of it is, partner marketing is hot right now. And I'm going to try to connect the dot here just in my world, which is digital marketing and B2B marketing. It's more feet on the street. It's a way to, and we're going to talk about trust here in a little bit. But, in the linear marketing world where it's, the old school way of, get awareness, drive traffic to your website, try to convert some of that traffic into leads, hand those leads off to a sales rep, hope the sales rep closes them. What we can do with partners today, especially because our websites are becoming less and less important to buyers, is get all these people out there singing our praises, doing it in a brand appropriate way. And seems like, Stephanie, you guys have cracked the code on how to do that in a smart way, because I don't think very many people that are watching today's show could say that 90% of their revenue is touched in some form or fashion by partner. That's pretty amazing. Very, very cool. So, all right, let's move on to the next topic, which is, cutting through the noise. And, I use this analogy of a bag of tricks a little bit earlier. And, that's been my experience on both sides of the equation. It's like, as a partner or a vendor, we're sitting in this bag of tricks of our partners. And, we're hoping that when they're sitting there talking to a prospect or one of their customers and they hear a need and they look in their bag of tricks, that they see our brand and decide to flip it out into the discussion and start talking about that. But it's a noisy world out there. Like how do we use our partners as a way to kind of cut through the noise? And how do we rethink the way that we go to market by bringing this army of partners along with us? Trevor, you want to jump on that question first?
Yeah. And as I kind of thought about this, I think you need to do this by focusing on three main shifts in your go-to-market strategy. So have hyper-personalization, ideally with automation and AI, have partner-centric enablement, and then data-led go-to-market orchestration. So first, just really rethink content. You don't want to ever do this general broadcast, right? I think you call it just dumping it on people.
Right.
It needs to. You're just going to lose people's attention really faster. We all have very short attention spans. Let's be honest here. So if you're putting all that irrelevant content with kind of a one size fits all, as Stephanie was saying, she has distributors, resellers, influencers. Like there's all these different needs of what kind of products they sell or influence or everything like that. So one size fits all just doesn't work in the partners ecosystem world. So it's really important to craft content that speaks their language, so to speak. And also that's all they see. Just like, when I go into Netflix, I have my own account. I don't want to see my kids' shows. I don't want to have to sift through all the little shows that they watch to get to what I want to see. So similarly, you just make it easy to interact with you and to work with you as the vendor and get that mind share from the partners that way. And then you can leverage the co-branding tools of whatever you're using, so partners get the exact right collateral in their language and ready to market with, and can personalize it, put their own contact information, their logo, give that level of personalization. But yeah, it's just, in my opinion, it's the most important to have automated execution of content or campaigns. So, because usually your partners on average, I think the average partner or company size of a partner is like 8 to 10 people. There's a lot of smaller companies out there. And they're not going to be marketing experts most likely. So the more you can enable them for a lot more turnkey, like, hey, I would love to send out all these email campaigns. I don't know what I'm doing. Can I just opt in? You guys handle it for me. Something like that, where you can automate that journey as much as possible, is really helps on the adoption side. So for those second and third points of the partner-centric enablement and the data-led go-to-market, it's just having that embedded campaign from day one and not just activated at the end. So I may be a little biased here, but there's tools that can be run centrally controlled, so you can protect your brand, have it be syndicated content out there, and your partners aren't changing your logo or putting theirs over that, or breaking your branding. You want to have that consistent message, but enable the partners to be able to leverage that in the right ways. So something that can really help will be able to make it so you can scale and not diminish your brand, and give that single source of truth with and be able to have maximum partner impact that way. And then last, just establish data-driven KPIs. So whatever your motivation that you're giving partners, if you have kind of a gold, silver, platinum approach, what is the motivation for a partner to be participating in this and helping augment your brand and be that scaler for you? I think too many people think of partnerships as what's in it for me and not what's in it for the partner. It's got to be a two-way win-win relationship. Otherwise, your adoption is just not going to happen.
Yeah, it makes me think about, you said we have short attention spans. I totally agree with that. I also believe that humans, we always follow the path of least resistance. And then when we're dealing with sales reps, they're the most lazy human beings on the planet. And I know I've been a sales rep before, right? And so whenever and this kind of goes back to the point I made at the top about, partner enablement is a lot like buyer enablement. What we preach all the time is we've got to remove friction from the buyer journey. We've got to make it as easy as possible for buyers to learn about what we do, the problems that we solve, how we can make that problem go away from them. That's a huge part of being successful in the B2B world today. And I think partner enablement is the same thing. Like the company that's going to remove friction, that's going to make it super easy. So I don't have to go build my own brochure. I don't have to go figure out how to get a logo on something. All those things are going to be, I think, really critical to success. We have a lot of clients that that get MDF dollars and things like that from bigger partners like Dell or something like that. And man, that is just such a nightmare for them. Every single quarter, we're trying to go, it's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube just to get everything in there to make it easy for them to get their dollars back is a real challenge. And I love what you said, Trevor, at the end too, about measuring and just helping them see how they're doing. I kind of got a sense of like gamification. So I can kind of, I'm now motivated a little bit. So not only have you made it easy for me, you've given me appropriate content. I don't have to sort through, irrelevant content. And I so bad want to use a particular partner of ours name, but I'm not going to. But it's like, there is so much information that they make available to us. Maybe 7% of it or 10% is relevant to me, a B2B company, a B2B agency, but I've got to sift through the 93% of that to try to find the little bit that we can use. And what's so frustrating about that to me is I know that that 3% is in there, or 7% is in there, and I know it could help me grow my business. I don't have time to go find it. And that's so frustrating. And so we don't use it. And that's a big challenge today. And so that's, I think, why people really struggle with that. So, Stephanie, kind of getting back, I went off on a tangent there, but, as you think about channel marketing and how do we leverage it basically in light of the way that the world is going to market today, anything you want to add, any useful comments to this discussion?
Yeah, I mean, I think that all of these are really important. Like Trevor mentioned, the personalization, being partner-centered on enablement, and then the data-led component of it. But, I would say that after been in technology, partner marketing for a couple of decades now, and the common misconception, and this has been really at every company that I've worked at, is that companies operate under the assumption or the misconception that they are a partner's exclusive priority. And so that, causes us to overlook the fact that there are a lot of other technology companies that are competing for this same partner's attention, resources, mind share. And so this oversight results in developing and implementing really complex and burdensome marketing approaches. That could be, multiple systems, disparate portals, and then a lot of different logins. So you have a different login for every tool that a partner needs to navigate. Right? It's a nightmare for partners. Pain. Right.
Oh yeah.
So you have 5 logins, and the other 15 companies they deal with have 5 logins. Not a fun experience for partners. So I think the thing that, probably can't be overemphasized is that if the process for partners isn't very straightforward, intuitive, and frictionless, partners are going to disengage. They're going to get frustrated, and they're not going to come back. They're going to take the easy route, like you mentioned. We all tend to be a little bit lazy. So they're going to go to the path of least resistance. So, as we enter this increasingly saturated and really distracted work environment, their time is a precious commodity. So the partner program has to be simple. We have to make sure that we're not causing the frustration, and that we make it easy for them to adopt and use all of the things that we're creating for them. So I really think that proactively recognizing and addressing this human tendency towards simplicity that we've talked about by streamlining partner marketing initiatives will help collaboration and success.
Yeah. So it's interesting to hear you say all those things, and I couldn't agree with you more. And then I keep thinking as you're talking, Stephanie, about the fact that you have 20,000 partners. Like I can really get when I'm listening to you talk that you understand it's about removing barriers, make it easy, customizable. But then, we have like 20 partners at Vende, and some of those are what we call tier 1 partners, which are the big brands like HubSpot and Google, et cetera. And they make us jump through a lot of hoops to be their partners, and then they dump all this information on us. And then we have a handful of partners that we support. And I can't imagine doing that for 20,000, like trying to remove friction and make it easy for 20,000 partners, customers, whatever you want to call them, right? Because they really are your customer. Like if you're running channel marketing, those partners are your customer, right? That's got to be tough.
It is. And thankfully, Palo's a big company. And so we have a big team. So I think that's where you also see, clearly we don't have a 1-to-1 or 5-to-1. We still have that mid-market, that commercial level that is unmanaged. So that's where we really do have to rely on those tools and platforms that are just, one touch, and partner can execute email campaigns and social campaigns. And we'll get into more of that later. I'll show some of that, but that's really how we're managing tens of thousands of partners.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that part of our discussion because, as a B2B, pipeline growth agency, all of our clients are B2B. Most of our clients have some kind of a channel. They often will ask us, well, hey, what can you do to support our channel? How can you help us grow our channel. And it's really hard as an agency because, we basically are selling our time, and to go in and try to support, 150 partner campaigns or email campaigns. That's a time consuming thing that becomes oftentimes just cost prohibitive for clients. So it's not an easy, when our clients ask us, how can we support their channel? It's not always an easy answer. Some things are easier than others. So I'm anxious to see kind of what you're doing with that. Let's switch gears and move on to the next topic, which is really, and you've kind of touched on some of this already, Stephanie, but anything you want to add to add clarity to this, which is, what is the biggest mistake that brands are making from your perspective when it comes to serving and supporting their partners? What are they doing wrong, and what can they do about it? How can they fix it?
So I think we've touched on that quite a bit, but really it is, easy answer is simplifying everything, making it easy for partners to, whatever you build for them, to locate it, to use it, to push it to market. You just need to make sure that, number one, you're top of mind. So your, communication is frequent to your partner community, that they know what's available. They know how to use it. They know where to go. They know how to get there. I think the clarity and the simplification are the top two.
Awesome. Stephanie, are you involved in recruiting partners at all, or are you just supporting the ones that are already in the system?
I'm supporting. We don't honestly do a ton of partner recruitment.
I guess when you have 20,000, you don't have to worry about it too much.
Right.
Awesome. Trevor, anything that we haven't covered that you want to touch on related to what you see? I'm guessing from your perspective, it might even be better because Stephanie is a brand of one, but you guys have lots and lots of customers. You probably see lots of challenges with partner programs. What's the number one thing you see that is like the biggest stumbling block for companies being not successful with their channel program?
Yeah, like a true marketer, I'm going to give you a 1A and 1B, but so I'll give you 2 instead of the top one. But yeah, in my previous roles at the company as product marketer and sales engineer, I was traveling to visit and sit down with a lot of companies and see their perspective or try to troubleshoot. Why are they getting low engagement? And it was shocking how many people bought a tool without strategy. So they just were hoping, okay, I'm going to buy a platform, click the easy button, it'll take care of everything for me. But no, you need to actually, just like AI or anything in tech, you need to train the tool of what it is you need to do. Your business is not like everybody else. You have to have some personalization in there. So just getting that internal alignment, I see as a big struggle with many pieces of the channel side. Getting that executive buy-in, aligning what your goals are, and then configuring your automation so that you can accomplish those goals. And then the second one, I totally agree with Stephanie that mindshare is a huge thing. So it is truly a battle out there for the partners. Unless you're a big company like Microsoft where people are clamoring to work with you, usually you have to have some sort of a competitive battle. And even Microsoft, they're not without competitors. So you're out there trying to battle of partners promoting or selling your product over the competitors. And I don't like calling salespeople lazy. They want to be optimized and efficient. We'll go with that, a little softer language.
That's a much better way to say it, Trevor.
So, just like, I think we're all the same way. And we're just like water. We go for the path of least resistance. I think you said that, Paul. So the more you can enable that and make it a better partner experience, if you're having it like you are, where there's only 7% of the content is relevant to you, that's super frustrating. So if another vendor is going to provide some better path, yeah, of course you're going to naturally want to work with that more. So that's where you can really set yourself apart competitively, is have a better partner experience with the tools you're providing and just make yourself easy to work with overall.
Yeah, a couple of things you touched on there that got me thinking. It's like so often, and I don't know where this came from, in the world of B2B, we've been brainwashed that the answer is just throw more tech at it, right? I've got a problem, let's buy this thing, right? It'll make it go away. And the next thing you know, you've got a gazillion different logos in your tech stack. the last data that I saw on in my world, which is more in the pipeline growth world, that the average B2B company has 14 different tools to manage the customer life cycle. And that's just mind-boggling. And the reason for that is there's a new shiny trinket that shows up every year on the scene, or maybe 25 every year. And oh, that's going to solve all my problems. I'm just going to buy it. Now I've got 15 tools. And so that's a challenge. The thing for me is like you said, and like I said earlier, putting the burden on the partner to go figure this stuff out is such a pain. And like, it's like, okay, I know I need to do that. When am I going to do that? Saturday, Sunday? Because I'm busy trying to run my business Monday through Friday. And that's never fun. And so it never gets really focused on. The other thing that bugs me about bad partner programs is, or I guess I'm going to flip the coin. What I love about good partner programs is when I feel like that partner is trying to help me grow my business. Like they're like, let's run some co-marketing together. Help me understand your business. Oh, hey, go talk to these 5 customers because they might be good fits for you. I mean, it feels like the word partner, right? Like all of a sudden it's not just a document management tool that I've bought into. Here's content, go figure it out. But it's a real partner. Like they're trying to help me grow my business. And I know that's hard to do at scale. I mean, that's the problem that I think a lot of companies that have bad partner programs, they feel like they're checking the box. Yeah, we got a partner program. Yeah, we created all these assets. Yeah, we stuck them in some kind of a partner portal. We've done our job. We can move on. That's just not going to work in today's world where we have to own mindshare, where it's easy for partners to shift from one to the other. So all that stuff really resonates with me big time. So let's switch gears and just talk about moving on to that next topic of building a winning partner playbook. Like, what are some of the ingredients? And I know we kind of danced around this at a broader scale, like go to market and demand, and why is partners important to help us do that. But if we were to kind of break down the recipe, like what is the recipe for a successful partner marketing program in 2025 and beyond? What would that look like? And Stephanie, I want to throw this at you first. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I'll back up a little bit. So in the past, and I'm talking a few years ago, our approach to partner marketing was really passive. So we would create the campaign materials, the reports, email, social post, and just upload them to our partner portal, hoping that partners would discover them, download them, and then utilize them effectively. And we realized after some time that hope, while it is a virtue, is certainly not a great strategy. So that method left us really blind to what partners were actually using and what was yielding results. So we spent about a year rebuilding and refining our strategy. And so our partner portal it functions as really a central hub for all of our partner marketing initiatives. It has single sign-on, so partner has one login, one username, one password for seamless access to various platforms. That includes, our Salesforce platform, MDF, marketing platform, and it hosts a really comprehensive set of partner-focused content. It has marketing collateral, training modules, event details, product information, our incentive programs, really everything partnerships. And furthermore, for every major direct campaign, so on the marketing side, which is where I focus, we develop dedicated partner campaign playbooks. So these offer partners insights into the sales motion, and then they outline a range of marketing tactics to help them support their efforts. So that's really, on the simplified turnkey side, what we've created.
Got you. So kind of going back, that single sign-on thing makes a lot of sense. We've got one of our biggest partners, there's a sign-in for the training. There's a sign-in for the assets. There's so many different things out there that oftentimes our rep over there will send us like a Google Doc, that inside the Google Doc is 75 links to things that we need to go read or consume or whatever. And that's not very helpful, right? You look at that and you just start sweating because it's like, oh my gosh, where do I go? Where do I find the time to do these things? And it's really about supporting them and making it easy for them. And I love about, actually building content that they can go and use and share and make it easy to find that. Trevor, anything you'd add to that? Like what should be in a playbook for the folks that are listening in today?
The playbook for just how to execute is what you're saying?
Yeah. Like I want to make my partner program better. What should I be doing that I'm not doing today?
I like the approach of just hearing directly from the partners. So survey them. Like you have access. Let's get in here. As much as we make our best guesses of what we think will resonate and what the partners want, asking them directly, especially your top, most strategic partners, have that one-on-one relationship. Or if you have 20,000, that's probably not very feasible. So send out the survey, get a little scale involved with that. And then you can kind of even segment the responses like, okay, well, these types of partners want this sort of thing. We don't need that for everybody or whatever it may be. But, you get that feedback and it's super helpful. Because I see things where, like I said, we have our own objectives and perspectives on the channel marketing side, on the vendor side. And sometimes that doesn't quite align. So I go, wow, this campaign is going to be amazing. Everybody's going to love this. And one person adopted it. What's going on? So, somehow there's a disconnect there. So just getting that personal feedback can be a little ouchy sometimes, like, oh, okay, I was a little disconnected there. Or, just very helpful, but you can course correct, look at the data. You got usually if you have some sort of a platform tool like a PRM, you'll get some feedback of where people are interacting, what behaviors they have. And so you can gain really good insights off of that. But really, I always like the saying, any good plan never really goes as you think. Like you make a plan and God laughs is pretty much how that goes. And you make a plan, your partners may laugh, so you want to be flexible and don't have anything set in stone so that you can make those adjustments on the fly and really react to what the market's saying.
Yeah, your comment about talking to partners really resonated. I saw some comments come through about that. And, it's funny because we say that on the marketing side too. It's like you want to know what your customer's thinking about, what keeps them awake at night. Go ask them. Don't build a persona and just assume Go talk to them. It's amazing what you'll learn. So that's a really good point. I'm interested. Neither one of you guys really touched on helping them execute like campaigns. And I know Impartner, that's one of the things you guys can do. And that's to me like something that I was excited about because, I'm a marketing guy, right? I love to run campaigns. I love to run campaigns for my clients, and running campaigns for channel is hard. And I know that you guys have helped solve some of those issues. And I do think that, from a outside in perspective, if I had a partner that was telling me, hey, you jump through these hoops and we can run some campaigns for you, that would be something that would get my attention for sure.
Yeah. I just wanted to call out the question there from Letitia that, what if you get feedback and there's just so many, either something that's hard to deliver or there's too many things. I would approach that the same as any product team would, is you just prioritize, okay, what's the low hanging fruit we can attack? What's going to be most valuable and faster time to market type of a thing. And sometimes they'll just ask something that's, I want 20% margin. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Whatever it may be, you'll have to push back or just, I think the best approach is having, again, that open communication. Like, hey, we saw your request. We appreciate that feedback, but we're not going to be able to execute. And here's why. Instead of just kind of doing the ignore thing, and then they'll be frustrated and feel like they're not valued. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. Let's cover one more topic before we get into Stephanie's slides. And that is really like measuring success. Stephanie, you touched on this a little bit earlier about the way that you guys were running the program, before. It was really hard to tell. You were doing a little bit of content dumping. You couldn't tell what partners were being successful, which ones were using the content. Now that you've got a successful campaign, I mean, we've even heard you say things like, that a lot of revenue is flowing through. How do you know when your campaign's working well? What are things we should be looking at to kind of take the temperature of our partner marketing and know that it's working?
Well, lots of different angles there. One of the things that we're looking at, especially on our through channel campaigns that we're using actually Impartner for as our tool to send emails and social posts, is just the metrics on the emails and social posts. So we are seeing, honestly, much better results on those co-branded emails and social posts than we even see on a lot of our direct campaigns. And I think that's because when you have, it was interesting a couple of years ago when I first discovered that, and I went, that's sort of fun. But it makes sense, right? Because when you have two brands that team up for an email or a social post, it really boosts how believable the message is. And we see that even in our own, when we're scrolling through Instagram and we see someone that we know and trust who's backing another company, we're more likely to purchase, I guess. So
right.
that
trust transference, right?
Exactly. That's, the increase in trust is probably the reason why the co-marketing efforts work so incredibly well, because they see the content is backed by two well-known companies. So it feels like it's been checked out more thoroughly, comes from a place of more expertise. And so that's going to lead to more confidence and engagement from the customer. It's got that whole, we've got each other's back vibe. And so we get more eyeballs, better click-throughs, and ultimately better results for both brands.
Yeah, I was just talking to one of our partners last week, and that was one of the things that we felt like made our partnership so great. It's like we're both small companies, but we're running co-marketing together. We've done events together. They've been on the show before. And, it's like the two of us together are, and this is more true for a small company like us, are actually more valuable than the two of us separate, because I can say good things about their brand. They can say good things about our brand. We can say those things together. And all of a sudden, we're both kind of sharing each other's trust. And that's a factor that's greater than, 1 + 1 = 3 or 5 in that case, not 2. Trevor, anything you want to add to just how do we measure success?
First, I want to know, how much taunting do you do to the direct marketing team when you are performing with the partner? Spike that football in their face. But yeah, that's a great place to be. I wish we would be at that. Our own partner program. Our partners aren't quite that augmentative. They're more consultative partners and whatnot. But yeah, being able to have that outperformance, I think that's like the holy grail, right? You have that opportunity if you're able to be that efficient and have your partners bought in and being able to augment your message and be more viral and everything. That's exactly what everybody should be shooting for. Exactly.
That's not a bad QBR meeting, right? Where you go up and say, here's the first slide. 92% of our revenue came through the channel. Here's slide number 2. And all of our campaigns performed 20 to 30% better. Thank you. And go sit down.
That's all for me.
Yeah, that's all. I'm done. Next. So that's pretty awesome. Stephanie, I know you have some slides where we've got about 15 minutes left. I know you said they're really just kind of help validate some visuals on that, so it's not a big, long presentation. You want to go ahead and share your screen, and let's walk through those slides and show them what you put together for us.
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked through a lot, but sharing visuals, I think, always helps get a better picture on what we're talking about. So let me share. There we go. And I'm going to just jump right in. So I first just wanted to show you our content library. So I alluded to that. We have a lot of collateral, and I know 950 pieces of collateral seems like a lot. Fortunately, the library does show you the newest content when you log in, and you can scroll back. It's also highly searchable. So it, searches right down to the content within the asset for partners to be able to find that. And, we're updating that frequently. And it has the emails, the social posts, the playbooks that I mentioned, and even localized versions that are available for all of our geos, so that they can even just filter down to show me everything that's in French or Spanish or German, and then they'll get all of the content in just their language. I noticed a comment in the chat about knowing what's valuable. So this is also really helpful because we can see the views and the downloads on every single asset. And that helps inform us about what to create more of and what to create less of as we, are working on our next campaign, what's really resonating with partners. Our campaign playbooks are by far the most viewed and downloaded. So partners start there to know how to run and execute a campaign. And then from there, they're pulling out the tactics that they need. So let me go on to the next. There we go. So just a quick view of some of our emails and social posts. So we create email and social nurture flows for every one of our campaigns. We also update these regularly. We refresh the content for existing campaigns, or we add new content with associated emails and social posts for new campaigns. So this is just a small subset, but you'll see we have a really robust library. We have over 80 emails and social posts, the associated social posts, tied to all of the campaigns across all of our solution sets. But this allows a partner to just go to exactly what's relevant to them and run those campaigns. Really easy to do that turnkey. It takes them a couple minutes to set up an entire nurture flow and automatically co-brands everything for them. So this is definitely the easy button for our partners.
Well,
they can also...
cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And if they prefer to use their own marketing automation tools, they can just grab these items. They can grab the code, or we provide the files, whatever they want, to be able to, run those through their own systems. Let me go on. Just wanted to give you a quick example of what a campaign flow looks like for us. So we'll create this overview for every campaign that we do. Here in the corner, an example of what the playbook looks like. It has a lot more detail about training and, third-party validation, all of the things that the partner will need to actually be able to sell, and then also for the marketing teams. But what are the offers? What does the nurture flow look like? And then that's driving them to a co-branded dynamic landing page where the prospect customer can download those assets. So just wanted to show a quick view of what that looks like. Our internal teams use this too. So even with our managed partners, this is what they're referring to walk them through what the campaign motion could look like. Or commercial partners can just go in and execute on their own. I mentioned communication. That's also super valuable. So we do regular communication to our partners just to keep them apprised of our new campaigns and content that's coming out. We do regular emails to them. These all contain links that bring them back into our through channel marketing automation portal, so that they can really quickly use those campaign kits. Some ideas, something we also do is sometimes I'll send out an email that just mentions a specific piece of content or email or social post and the results that other partners are seeing from using those. So, a particular email we've seen, a 56% click-through rate on that. This one's working really well. So you might want to try using this too. So you can get creative, not just telling them here's what's new, but also giving them a reason to use it because other people are succeeding. So you can obviously succeed with this exact same campaign. And then finally, I just wanted to show you an eye chart of the data that we're tracking every quarter. So we pull all of the data from all of our tools and platforms, and we're looking at quarter over quarter growth. We just wrapped up our fiscal year, so now we're also looking at year over year growth, but we're calculating a partner engagement score to your question about how, is this working? And, we're looking at logins and downloads and views and making sure that we're growing social posts, growing quarter to quarter, year over year. And where we see maybe we're stagnant or even declining, this is allowing us to make adjustments really quickly. So I know every couple of months where I need to maybe pivot and focus in a different area. expand my communications, send out more information about social posts, maybe create new social posts. But by tracking all of these things really at a micro level, it allows us and our team to make those changes that need to be made within the program quickly and implement them with our partners. So that's really it. I just wanted to give you a quick view of what some of it looks like.
Great.
That helps stick in the brain, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, a couple of things that jumped out to me when I was watching your presentation there. One is, man, talk about learning at scale. Like if you can get these assets out into the market, now you've got partners that are pushing these assets out. And if they're pushing them through the platform, you are able to see very fast, hey, these types of assets are hitting with our ultimate end user customer faster than you probably could as just a marketing team. I'm always thinking about it through that myopic lens. And, in today's world, it's about learning as fast as you possibly can and iterating as fast as you can. So that's really cool. I love the campaign playbooks. I mean, like I've said this a couple of times, we're partners with some really big brands, and I can't tell you that they're giving us step-by-step playbooks with easy access to assets that I can get into market fast. I would love that. I mean, if any of my partners are out there listening today, that's something that would help my business quite a bit, right? Because we're busy, and it's that whole path of least resistance thing again. If you want to get me to promote your product, give me a playbook and give me assets that I can get into market. I mean, we spend money every single month on ads. I mean, we spend a fair amount of dollars. And if I had somebody's assets that were ready to go with my logo on them and a playbook that says, do it this way, man, I would do that. So that's really, really smart and very cool. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. We've got maybe 2 or 3 minutes that we could answer any questions. I know we've been kind of answering them as we go. Letitia's got a question about what platforms are you using to track metrics? Anything there? Is it all done in Impartner, or are you using something else?
Yeah, I'd say the majority of it, the ones that I showed you for sure, are Impartner. We do have our own internal partner platform. And so we're pulling some of it from there, but we have more traffic in our TCMA platform than we do in our Impartner platform, in our own platform.
Got you. I really liked how you were talking about being able to see the downloads and the views of things, and how it, Trevor, you were talking about earlier, we want more of a Netflix experience than a dump of information experience. That's kind of cool to see that. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I have Trevor and Stephanie's LinkedIn profile in the agenda. I also have a link to Impartner's website. And if you scroll to the bottom of the agenda, Stephanie did a really nice case study and a video for Impartner that's on their website. And I put a link to that in the resource section of the agenda. So if you guys want to listen to her story again or get an understanding of how that works, you can check that out. Also, don't forget about next month, Rand Fishkin, truly the godfather of B2B digital marketing. He's going to really kind of drop the bomb on what's going on in the world of traffic and what we need to do to get ready for it. So if you haven't registered for that, be sure to do that. And Trevor and Stephanie, thank you so very much for joining us today. Very, very useful information. I think we picked up a lot of good tips and tricks that are going to help us get the mind share of our partners and help them and succeed. And we all know that when our partners are succeeding out in the market, that's helping us succeed too. So everybody, thank you for your time. And we will catch you guys next month. Take care, everybody. See ya.